All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And today, well, we're not going to be discussing a lore video or a character analysis. I don't even have a simple question for you this time because today we're going to be talking about in defiance or defense of something so incredibly dumb. I was called out recently via my DMs by a couple of random redditors and OF models on X. People with private profiles and no profile pictures, having their outdated Apple Watches with their phones that overheat within 3 minutes of them doom scrolling. But without further ado, let's get into it by me stating that I'm not one to defend AI generated stuff. Yeah, AI art is fucking trash. Okay, you can easily detect it in people who claim that they made it by quote unquote air quotes training their AI companion buddy to make their art. You didn't make it. Relax, all right? For questions and stuff, AI it's okay, sure. But when people use AI software to make their art, and then again they claim that they made it, they don't, okay? And it's so fucking common that actual artists that actively post their stuff get absolutely like raw dogged in the comments and in their DMs, and then they get canceled for it because people can't discern what is AI and what actually isn't. But I feel like it's also a thing like AI is so common nowadays that people just immediately assume that like, hey, you're posting art, must be AI, okay? Or since one of these people in my DM said that like all the art that I'm gonna be posting is AI because I just happen to have used a AI generated YouTube thumbnail. Okay, sure. Whatever floats your boat, Idoplasm. You continue, training your AI to perfectly generate your art piece while I actually put in the work for my shit. So, but when it comes to YouTube thumbnails or let's say like memes or something, I'd say, AI is okay to use as long as you're not claiming that you actually made it yourself. Which, with my YouTube thumbnails, I never claimed that I made it myself. I just randomly generated a piece of slop and then I used it as a YouTube thumbnail. Which, a matter of fact, I am going to change all my thumbnails after this video is posted or whatever. Then I am going to take a hiatus, and all of my YouTube videos I have planned, I'm just going to randomly create my own thumbnails for I don't get shit on. But nonetheless, even when I do that, right, there's going to be people no matter what, and anybody's comment talking down on their art, calling it AI. So even though, again, you can clearly see most AI artists are trash. But then you got like actual legends trying to actually promote what they do, and they get shitted on for doing such things. But in reality, I mean, creating a YouTube thumbnail is difficult. I mean, Wildcat and Pasta and I think Nogla as well. The Vanoss crew, they actively have people hired to create their thumbnails. Which again, I'm going to be making my own thumbnails, okay? So I don't get shitted on. But nonetheless, I know I'm going to be shitted on no matter what, okay? But there are actual content creators, right? These are content creators that have been on the platform of YouTube for years, if not a decade, maybe less, maybe more, who knows, okay? These are content creators who have several hundred thousand, they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, if not millions, several million people actively watching their content, right? And they themselves quite clearly and publicly use AI thumbnails because they don't give a shit. And I actively watch these content creators themselves, and I can say that like all because someone uses an AI thumbnail for their video doesn't mean that the actual content within the video is trash or not, okay? The majority of the time, if somebody uses AI generated stuff for their thumbnail, usually it means that the YouTube video is a banger from my experience. So you ever watch a Komomo_10 video? Just saying. So, but I just want to name a couple of these YouTube creators who actively and publicly, again, use AI generated thumbnails. And I just want to state before I get into the names, I'm not shitting on these dudes. I am subscribed to these dudes. I am a member of these dudes. I am also a active supporter of these dudes. Okay, I watch these dudes' videos while I work. Okay, I'm not shitting on them. I'm a fan of these dudes. Let's move on. Okay, we have the jolly British man himself, Booster. He uses AI generated for his thumbnails. Even Komomo_10, the jolly Rust admin himself. he also uses AI generated stuff. On screen, I'll put on a couple of screenshots from their channels as a reference or proof or whatever the hell you want to call it. But even the Brad himself uses AI for his thumbnails. I mean, though I do believe that, like, I think he only started using AI for his thumbnails, I think last year and even recently. So it's a new development, kind of a new development, but he does use AI for his thumbnails. And I'm a huge Brad fan. All right. So, and he's actually the reason why I thought it was even a good idea to use a YouTube thumbnail, right? Obviously, like, no matter what, if you're on the internet and you try to make it big or whatever, you're always going to have haters no matter what you do. So I didn't know I was going to be called a fleas bag in my DMs by a random Redditor shitting on my art because he thought I used AI generated stuff for my actual art pieces, all because I used AI generated stuff for my thumbnails. So I don't know. He called me a fleas bag for that. Let's move on. The Lucky 10p. That one dude who does Destiny content. He too uses AI thumbnails as well. Sometimes. Mr. Nightmare, they do horror story time videos. They use AI generated stuff for their stuff as well sometimes. Not all the time, however. So take that into account. Sometimes, not all the time. Even the Banana Bear show, they actively use their content to generate their stuff. So, but they're still hella funny though, and they're very creative about it. You can tell, like, they really don't care. And there was this one Fallout creator that I've been watching forever because I'm a huge Fallout fan, and his name is Rage Chronicles. He too also uses a lot of YouTube thumbnails that are AI generated. So that dude's funny too. You can tell he really doesn't give a shit. He's just putting out content. Whether he uses a YouTube thumbnail that's AI, doesn't matter. Who cares? Get fucked. Okay. Even Oompaville at times uses AI thumbnails. Okay. It's just convenient at time. All right. If you use it all the time, sure, that's kind of cheating the system. Oh, we got Immortal Marcus as well. Sorry, that's just something that came to mind as well. Immortal Marcus at times, he's a analog horror content creator. He too actively uses AI for some of his thumbnails. Again, not all. So, take that into account. These are people with hundreds of thousands, if not several million subscribers on their platforms, and they actively use YouTube thumbnails. And sure, they get shit on for doing so. So, I don't know, man. We even have More Crown, a GTA 5, role player. He too uses thumbnails that are AI generated. These are just, a couple of people who I know for a fact use AI for their thumbnails. Again, I can't hammer this alone. All because someone uses their YouTube AI generated thumbnails doesn't mean everything they do is AI generated. Okay? Bitching and moaning about such things, it's like complaining to someone about their patchy ass beard. Well, guess what? It takes 6 fucking months for everybody's facial hair, in fact, to fill in. All right? So hop off their nuts. Doesn't mean they're lacking estrogen. It takes 6 months or longer for someone's beard to fully patch in. Okay? Or making a pointless argument about kissing someone's fucking grandma. Well, I'm going to continue doing it because it forms friendships. Or complaining about buying a digital game and not actually owning the product you pay for. Then you actively defend pirating movies. It's a fucking thing. Let's move on. We'll be more productive if we do so. Okay? All because someone uses AI to generate their random ass YouTube thumbnail doesn't mean the art they actively post is AI generated, okay? And stop calling me a fucking fleas bag, you cytoplasm. But moving along, I went on a bit of a side rant right there. So, but I just want to add, again, I cannot hammer this home alone, blah, 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 okay? I'm losing fucking brain cells here. All because some content creators use AI specifically, okay, quotes, specifically for their thumbnails doesn't mean that the entire video itself is AI. The same thing can be said about actual artists. Okay, I see people who I actually like their art. I know that they are actually actively producing it. They're not asking a fucking computer to generate their art for them. No, they're actively posting and making their art. Okay, and they're getting shit on in their DMs and their comment saying, "Oh, it's AI. You're fake as shit. Get fucked, moron." No, AI art is so prominent. People need to stop using it. It's not good. Okay, stop. It's just nasty ass trash people who don't know how to actually do it, shitting on people in their messages. Calling the thumbnail weird and stuff like that. It's a thumbnail. Who cares? Okay. I work hard on my own pieces along with every other person who makes their own sketches and stuff. Okay. Using AI to generate YouTube thumbnails doesn't dictate that the YouTube video is trash. And all because someone uses AI doesn't mean that their entire thing that they're doing is AI generated. Again, I cannot hammer that point alone. AI art is prominent, sure. Doesn't mean everybody who's posting their fucking art is making AI art, okay? Just like same thing. All because people are using AI to generate their thumbnails doesn't mean the entire video is fucking AI, okay? I mean, I've been drawing since I was a little kid, okay? It's one of these things that, like, people shit on people who actually make their stuff, right? They're trying to put their stuff out there and stuff like that, and they get shit on, right? I see this, and now it's happening to me the last couple days, and it's these cytoplasms that are in my comments or in my DMs. It makes me a little subconscious to publish my books. There's like 4 or 7 books. There's 7 books, right? I've been writing these books since I was young. Okay, and there's art pieces within my books as well. And for a fact, oh my god, I love drawing and animating. I mean, I myself, I used to work at Hoyo, for fuck's sake. Okay, I made the character Klee, and I'm getting shit on for randomly using a AI thumbnail. Okay, but nonetheless, AAR is trash. Okay, I think we can all come to that conclusion. Okay, it's the actual cytoplasms that actually claim the art they post is actually theirs. They're liars and they're fucking cheaters. I don't do that. At this current time, I'm going to be completely honest. The only art that I'm going to be posting... Sorry, I'm losing brain cells. Okay? The thumbnails that I'm going to be using for this week are going to be placeholders. Okay? I'm going to finish this last batch of posting, and then we are going to go into hibernation, because it's going to take me like 3 to 4 weeks to actively do a good thumbnail video for current posted videos and ongoing creating videos as well. So I don't know. I'm not defending AI. I just want to state that. Stop shitting on people because you think that they're using AI. It's horrible. But we're at the end of this video. This is something I typically don't like doing, but like 3 random folks DM'd me speaking ill for a stupid Rick Grimes thumbnail. But please, in the comments, let me know if you're an artist yourself and you just randomly started posting and now people are calling your art AI. And if you're also a content creator as well, and if you as well actively use AI to generate your thumbnails, let me know. I'm definitely not the only one. All I gotta say is that my art that I actually post is not AI. Okay, it's actual hard work on my IBS Paint. I'm not some fucking cytoplasm that cheats the system. But without further ado, everyone, I'll go ahead and catch you in the next one, and I'll see you all Starside. Have a good one. Bye.